Hey guys, so on this episode of Chronicles of Nikki, I am going to do a little Transparency Tuesday, which means I am going to share with you a time in my life when I was the crazy ex. I know. Now, I don't want to make excuses for any of the things that I did other than to say that I was very young. I was 27 when I met this guy. He was 25. And this is when I had a lot of energy to put into a relationship and into a man. Not that I don't have that energy now, but I don't have that type of energy. That was very negative energy for me, and it was a very dark place. I would never go back there again. I don't like the way that it made me feel, and I don't like the things that it made me do. So I would never put that much energy into a relationship again because it caused me to do some things that I never thought that I would do. But you know, we all have that one that we are crazy about and we do crazy things over. So, you know, there's always one. So sit back, relax, and I will share my story with you. I'll be right back. Welcome back. So let's get into it. As I said, I was 27, 28 when I met this guy. He was 25, and our relationship moved really quick. We went from meeting to going on a date to having sex the same night to being boyfriend and girlfriend all within 2 weeks. Okay, so that's very fast. It was very intense, and we fell for each other really quickly. Like, I think we probably said I love you within a month. So everything was going good. Everything was going great. I loved him. My son loved him. I loved his daughter. She loved me. He met my family. You know, my family loved him. Our little blended family was working really good until about 4 months in. And I don't even know what happened, but something happened. I think I remember calling him one night and he didn't answer the phone. I called, text, nothing. So the next morning he calls me, saying that, he was asleep, and I'm thinking, okay. So already my mind had been going, because I was pretty much up all night thinking, what the hell is going on? Where is he? And why is he not returning my calls? And of course, the first thing a woman thinks is, what bitch is he with? Which is what I was thinking. So, what did I do? I broke into his answering machine. This is when they had answering machines, so you know how long ago this was. I broke the code to his answering machine and checked the messages. There was a girl on there that had left a message, and when she said her name, I immediately knew who she was because he was someone that she told me about that he was dating before me. He was in love with her, blah, 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 blah. She broke his heart, and so there you go. So when I heard her name, I'm thinking, So then she says, hey, I had a good time last night. I'm glad you were able to spend the night. I'm sorry that whatever her kid's name was kept you up all night, but I'm looking forward to seeing you again. What? You spent the night at another bitch's house? Okay. So now the crazy girl starts. So of course I told him what I did. I told him I checked the voicemail because, you were in the wrong. Well, look, he turned that on me, got pissed off, why are you checking my messages? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. You got caught. So we talked about it, argued about it, talked about it, argued about it, ended up staying together. But now my fire had been lit. So what was I doing? Checking the answering machine's voicemail all day, every day. Consumed my life. But then, he got smart and she stopped leaving messages at the house. Okay, so you're not going to outsmart me. So I broke the passcode to the cell phone, the pager, and y'all don't judge me, but I broke the passcode to the work voicemail too. I used to be a very good investigator when I was young, so I was able to find out information that I wanted if I really wanted the information, So I'm listening to all these devices, like I said, consumed my life because you got to check one, then you got to check the other, then you got to check the other, then you got to check the other. Y'all, this was a very bad time in my life. Let me just put it like that. So there were many, many breakups in this relationship. I've never broken up with someone so many times in my life and gotten back together. But in between each breakup, there would always be a girl. And in my situation, there was a guy at one point, but we'll get to that because I wasn't the only one that was crazy. So I'll be right back. Now, you guys know I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you because this is Transparency Tuesday, and so I have to keep it 100, right? Okay, so I used to follow this man sometimes to see where he was going and then end up at the same places that he was going to be, especially if it was like a club or a bar. And, I would just casually walk in as if, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here, that type of thing. I would drive to his house sometimes at night, in the middle of the night, and, just to see if his car was there. And if his car was there, I'd get out, put my hand on the hood, see if it's still warm. Because if it's still warm, that means he just got home. And if it's cold, then maybe he's been there for a while, but I need to find out if you got somebody in the house. So I'm knocking on the door. And you better answer. Don't make me cause a scene in these apartments. Now, there was one particular time that we were broken up, but we were still doing our thing. We were still hooking up, but we weren't together. Y'all been there, And it was a Friday, and this is when First Fridays used to be really popular. And we both knew we were going to First Fridays. Now, we had hooked up this Friday evening. When he left, I remember saying, behave. Don't make me have to get ugly up in that club. And he was like, oh, man, I'm chilling. Okay, chill. So, get there. I walk in, ready to get my dance on. Look over, he over there dancing with some chick all up on her back. Just bumping and grinding hard. So I walked up to him, tapped him on the shoulder. I said, that's you? He said, yeah. Okay, all right. So I'm pissed. I am pissed. So I walk off, go to the bar to get me a drink. And as I'm standing there, this guy comes up. He's talking to me. He offers to buy me a drink, whatever. So we're standing there talking. So I was like, well, I'm going to run to the ladies' room. So me and my girl head to the ladies' room. And I got my drink in my hand. And as I'm going the path of the ladies' room, I hear someone behind me. And it's my ex. And he says, oh, so you can talk to a motherfucker, but I can't talk to nobody? Before I could even catch myself, I turned around. I threw the drink in his face. I threw the glass at him, and then I pushed him. Y'all didn't hear me. Let me demonstrate again. I turned around. I threw, and I pushed. Now, as I pushed, and I walked up on him. And I'm doing this. No, motherfucker, you don't talk to me. You don't say shit to me. But my girl is pulling me back, so I didn't get to get up as close to him as I wanted to, because I was ready. Now, mind you, this dude is 6'2", very muscular build, and probably wasn't much I was going to do, but, I'm 5'3", but my personality is 6'5", so I was ready. I thought, we can take it outside. But of course, he doesn't pay me any attention when it comes to stuff like that. So I walked to the ladies' room to gather myself because this man has clearly pissed me off. Get myself together. I come out of the ladies' room. He's coming out of the men's room. Well, as he's coming out, we make eye contact and I give him the finger. Like, And he, side eyes me, and we keep it moving. So of course my night is ruined, and I'm ready to go, but I can't go because I rode with my girl. So I'm standing in a corner somewhere, fuming, watching him. I am watching his every move. I am everywhere he is. I'm standing there. I'm making my presence be known. I want your night to be just as ruined as mine. Now, he texts me to make sure I got home. Okay. Now, what I wanted to say is, where the little bitch you was dancing with on the dance floor? Ask her, text her and see if she got home okay. But what I said was, yeah, I'm home. So, of course, the phone calls kept coming, the text messages kept coming, the I miss yous kept coming, the let's get togethers kept coming, and then of course we ended up getting back together. Now, I can't remember what happened for the next breakup, but we were broken up for about 6 weeks. No communication, no talking to, no seeing of each other, absolutely nothing. There was nothing going on between us. And I had met this young guy. This guy was, I think he was 22. Now by this time, I'm 29. He was 22. And I remember I saw him at the club, and I said, you know you're going home with me, right? And he's like, okay. So he went home with me. That's a whole nother subject. Let's leave that there. So we're doing our thing for about a week, and one night on a Thursday, my ex decides to show up at my house, and you will not believe what happened. Now, the ex is at my house. My phone's ringing. I'm not answering. My phone's ringing. I'm not answering. My phone's ringing. I'm not answering. He knocks on my door. I'm not responding. Phone rings. Not answering. Knock on door. Not responding. I guess about 2 minutes later, guys, I hear these rocks being thrown in my window. This fool is downstairs throwing rocks at my window. And I'm thinking to myself, shit is about to get real bad, real quick, if this man keeps knocking on my door and trying to get in contact with me, and he sees that my car is outside. Yeah, he knows I'm home. And sure enough, shit got bad real quick. So after me not responding to any of this, I'm thinking, okay, he's gone, because things stop. I guess about 5 minutes later, I hear this commotion in my living room. Now, the way my couch was set, my couch was in front of my windowsill. And of course, you got blinds, right? I was on the second floor. This fool had climbed up on the ledge, not the patio balcony, on the ledge, over the bars, on the ledge where the windowsill is, and he's climbing through the window. Y'all didn't hear me. Climbed up on the ledge over the bars to climb in through the window. Now he's making all this ruckus with these blinds. So I walk in the living room and I'm like, what are you doing? He falls down on the couch, because remember, my couch is right there in front of the window. So when he comes in, immediately he's on the couch. And he says, why the fuck you didn't answer your phone? I said, what are you doing? He looked around, gently pushed me to the side, walked into my bedroom and saw this young man in the bedroom in nothing but his boxers, and pulled a gun on him. Pulled it right out of his back pocket. Pointed it all in this boy's face, cussing him out, demanding to know what he was doing in my house, in his girl's house. Now, I was never fearful of my life, his life, or the guy's life. I just wasn't. He just wasn't a violent guy. So I had no reason to think anything was going to pop off. But he was very territorial. And he was territorial when it came to me. So I knew he was trying to scare the guy. So I'm standing there and we're arguing, because I'm like, why are you telling him I'm your girl? I am not your girl. We haven't even talked to each other in like almost 2 months. You know, we're going back and forth, and this guy is like this. And so finally I said, just get your clothes and go. I said, just go. Just go. So he leaves. About 15 minutes later, there's a banging on my door. Boom, 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 boom. I go to the door. It's the police. Because of course, the young buck had to call the cops, right? So, there's a cop at the door, there's a cop mid-stairway, and there's one downstairs at the bottom with a rifle, ready for something to pop off. So, of course, I said, no, I'm fine. I'm not in any danger. No, he doesn't have a gun. Because what we did was hid the gun in my closet. We hid the gun in my closet. This is how silly I was at the time. I helped him hide the gun in my closet. Cops ended up leaving. We argued for the remainder of the night. Now it's like 3:30 in the morning. I still have to go to work the next day. He's got to go to work the next day. He's snatching pictures off the wall, slinging them, throwing them, breaking them, just all kinds of crap for someone that we're not even together. And I'm like, what are you doing? So it wasn't just me that was crazy, you guys. It wasn't just me. But I have one other crazy moment for you. In between another breakup, he used to hang out at Cowboys Cafe a lot. So this particular time, he met this girl. Well, I got the girl's phone number because she would call and leave messages or text him. Now, mind you, I'm still checking his stuff and he doesn't know. He doesn't know that I have the passcode to the cell phone and the voicemail to the work and the pager. He only knows about the answering machine. So I hear this girl call, so I knew what her number was. So I called her. Yeah, I called her. She didn't answer. Her answering machine picked up. Now, I'm not proud of this, but what I did was figured out the passcode to her answering machine as well. And I'm listening to messages that he's leaving her. And this is just fueling my crazy. I stalked this man. I would be in his apartment waiting on him when he would get home. I'm sitting on the stairs, or I still had a key, so I'm waiting inside the apartment, y'all. I was gone. I never busted windows and I never put a tire on flat. But I scared the shit out of him sometimes because, yeah, I think I pulled a knife on him one time. I don't even know why. He said something to me while I was cooking, and it pertained to something that I knew he was lying about because I'm listening to your messages. And I turned around and I pulled a knife on him, and I was in a very bad place at that time. I was in a very bad place. That's all I have to say about that. I wasn't taking care of myself physically, mentally either. I was literally down a rabbit hole, and I could not see any way out. It was so dark in this rabbit hole, and my mom was worried about me at the time because I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. I had got down to like a size 4. I weighed like 117 pounds, and you guys see how small I am now. For 117 pounds on me, that's like sick thin. It was not cute. It was not cute at all. But, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything but consume myself with him and what he was doing and where he was and who he was with. I had to take to writing in journals to put on my thoughts on paper. I would literally be up until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning checking his voicemail. I would be asleep and wake up every hour on the hour to check his messages. I was pathetic. That's all I have to say about that. And I can admit that. This is Transparency Tuesday, right? So I have to be real. I was pathetic. And this is why I say I would never put that much energy into a man again, because I could never go back to that dark place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I want to do a Transparency Tuesday every week or every other week, just to bring you guys a little bit more into my life and share some things with you. I'm always behind the scenes asking the questions and bringing up the topics of conversation, but I want to share with you guys things that I've been through, and good and bad. Everyone has some bad that they can talk about as an experience. And, you know, I want to do that with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and please stay tuned for the next. You guys have a great day.